What is good, my people? We're back with another video, chest and tricep workout today, and as you can see, we are leveling up, man. We've surpassed the kettlebell and the 2 weight plates, and we are now on to a full-on brick. Again, this is not the heaviest I've ever done on dips, but this is, the build back from the long period from not training. So we're working with this brick. I think it's about 17 or 18 kilograms. So that's like that's the wrong math, that's bad math. 2 and 3 more kilograms than the original weight we started off with. And we were banging out about 8 to 9 reps solid. So depending on how the next session goes will depend on if I go up again, because once I reach 10 solid reps, I'm gonna put the weight up again and see what we're working with. So it might be a brick and a weight plate, or something of that nature, but just to increase the weight again, because once I reach 10, I like to move back down to a weight where I'm struggling to get 7 or 8 reps in, what I'm saying. So that's not the elite reps or sets to do, but it's just what I like to do. So if you want to implement that in your training, go ahead, feel free. But yeah, that's what we're working with at the moment. We did about 4 sets of dips, and I was feeling good, man. The weight felt right. When you find that perfect weight for a movement where it's not too easy, but at the same time it's not too hard, you're getting the correct amount of reps in, that you're in your perfect rep range, that you've worked enough, and you're not putting yourself at risk or harm because it's too heavy. This felt right. So we're probably going to be working this maybe for the next week, or maybe a couple weeks or so, depending on how the progression goes. But I was happy with this, man. Felt at the right time to move up, and we just go from there. Usual setup and the vibes, chairs, bricks, all the other stuff, my dip belt, dip rope I should call it. But yeah, we were just enjoying the session, man. I always like to start my session off with dips because I feel like it's probably one of the more difficult and strenuous movements. So I usually like to start off with the more difficult movements, or the movements that are using the most body parts to start off the session with, and then obviously as the session goes on throughout, I'll move on to movements that are more isolated in nature. So if I was doing like a back and a bicep day, if you watch those videos, I always start off with pull-ups because it requires a lot of different muscle groups, and then we'll just work down to that, maybe just doing the biceps. Whereas like here, I start with dips, might go into some push-ups, and then we work on muscles that just hit the triceps, or just we can't really do just the chest, but you know what I'm saying. So next we moved on to some weighted push-ups. We're using the chairs again, and the weight has also increased on this as well. So yeah, this brick will be the new weight that we're working with for most of the movements during the chest and tricep workouts. And I've spoke about this in the previous video. I really do enjoy doing weighted push-ups, especially elevated weighted push-ups. I get a nice stretch on my chest at the bottom, and it's also a good way to gauge progress, because sometimes when you're doing like a high number of reps, body weight push-ups, like strictly body weight, you can sometimes cheat yourself on form if you're not very diligent, and you're not being very, very disciplined, and then your numbers could fluctuate. But with this, it's like 8 reps is 8 reps. Like you can't cheat the reps, especially if you find a good working weight. It's very hard to cheat the reps because the form don't look good, and you can sometimes, if you record yourself or someone's watching, that you're not going low enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm enjoying doing weighted push-ups, and I'm seeing great benefits from it. And of course, this movement works your triceps as well, your front shoulder. You want to make sure you're keeping that core tucked, a nice streamlined body. Don't let your hips sag, none of that. And then obviously once you start to feel your form going a little bit, you just ease off like I did right there, stop, and safely start over. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so if you have the correct equipment to do this, and I would suggest you do, obviously parallettes or actual parallel dip bars are ideal, but you see what I'm working with. parallel dip bars coming very, very soon. I got the chairs right now. I got the brick set up. I'm not complaining, man. I always say, work with what you've got, because no one cares for your excuses. I could always say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, so obviously I can't work out. But man, you can literally turn anything into a piece of workout equipment. I've seen people lifting their beds, their sofas, their fridges, washing machines. Like, I'm not saying to do that, but I'm saying like you can make the best out of any situation at the end of the day. And then we finished off with a nice body weight set, just to get a little bit more of a burnout. Was that like 4 sets in total? I believe 3 or 4 sets in total. Yeah, and we just get that nice stretch down the bottom and then push all the way back up, man. And don't be afraid to do drop sets. If the weight gets too heavy and you feel like you got more in the tank, you can always drop the weight off and carry on going. I haven't got into drop sets just yet, just because it takes a while to take the weight off the belt, and I feel like I'll be wasting a lot of time. So I'm just sticking with what I am doing at the moment. And then we got into some diamond push-ups, really work on those triceps, but we added a resistance band in now this time as well. I believe in the last video we were somewhere in between 12 to 15 reps. I think it was 15 reps, and you know, that's great, you know, but you want to make it more difficult. I want to stay in that 8 to 10 rep range at the moment, so added the resistance band in, and obviously that's going to make more tension at the top of the movement, not so much at the bottom, but once that band starts to stretch out, tension is going to grow and grow and grow. So just to make the movement more difficult, you can always use a resistance band, and that can be for normal push-ups as well. You can do it for pull-ups. Like, resistance bands are so versatile. They're just a great piece of workout equipment to have, especially if you work at home, but even in the gym as well. You can add them into nearly every single exercise, some way, somehow. You just got to figure it out. But yeah, diamond push-ups. We did 3 sets of diamonds. I like to go all the way down where my chest is like on my hands basically, and then push all the way back up. A lot of people have different forms that they like to use. Some people like to do shorties, some people like to do full range of motion. I am a big fan of full range of motion, and that's what I'm going to stick with right now. If I was going to do shorties, I would probably, you know, do it at like the end of the workout for a burnout, but not the main part, if that makes sense. And then moving some isolated movements, we got the resistance band tricep extension. I just attached this to my pull-up bar above my door, and we were just pulling it all the way through, making sure that it's just the elbow doing most of the movement, but we're, you know, making sure the tricep is getting a nice bit of work on this one. My dogs were making noise, so I had to check them out quickly, but they were okay. I think they were play fighting or something. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, we did about 8 to 10 reps on these, I believe. I can't fully remember, but if someone was counting all the way through, please let us know what the rep was. And we're just making sure, man, that elbow stays as close to the body as possible. We ain't cheating, we ain't using no other body parts. And then I thought to myself, I could move up, you know, that one felt good, but we're gonna make it a bit more difficult. And as you can see, there's a lot more activation going on. Okay, the shoulder is moving a little bit, which isn't ideal, but you know, sometimes form's gotta be sacrificed in order to get the reps out. So I wasn't too tough on myself with this one. Obviously this arm looks a bit better, so maybe it was a reaction to doing the first side, but the green band was definitely getting a better contraction, and I was also able to control it still. So we're definitely working with the green band in future. I added a little attachment on the end, just so I was able to get it all the way down, because the grip was kind of difficult just holding onto the band and then pulling all the way down. But as I said before, I usually leave the isolated movements to the end, and then the compound movements will usually start off the bulk of the workout, man. This is again just nice additional stuff to get the last sorts of bit of blood into the muscle, get those extra reps in, you know, all that good stuff, man. And yeah, the chest is looking nice. I'm pumped, man, nice and, you know, quality. And then also the triceps are looking good as well, man. So let me know if you're enjoying the videos. You make sure you like, you comment and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.